Hello everyone. I decided to do a quick market update on cryptocurrencies just to make sense of what has happened so far in the market. Since I last updated you guys in my newsletter on Tuesday, the market has crashed 15% since then. A lot of the coins that I've in my portfolio that I've shared with the subscribers were also down by about 50 to 60%. So it has been a pretty brutal week for everyone. One thing you must realize is that, and I keep emphasizing this point, that the market is moved by emotions of investors. It moves between greed and fear. So people buy due to fear of missing out, only to panic sell when the market crashes, like it did a few days ago. So let's look at the Bitcoin chart to determine the trend direction. Are we heading higher, or has the market had enough of this 13-month bull run? So let's look at the Bitcoin chart first. So this is a chart that I shared with you on Tuesday, where I said some of the key levels need to be held, and I'm still bullish based on the mid to long term outlook and the structure the way it is holding up so far in the market. There is literally no reason to panic sell or get out of the market. We are still going up right now. Since then, the market has dropped by about, where are we? Let's go to the current time frame. So here we are. So since then, the market has dropped to about 47,000, right? And then is basically rallied back up to around 50k. Now it's just range bound between 48, 50, 51,000 range. But the main level that I basically wanted the market to hold was this key level, right? This is the key level, which is now needs to hold as support if the market is likely to head higher. So I have three main scenarios where this thing can actually play out, right? These are the three bullish scenarios that I'm currently considering if the market is likely to go higher, right? So we have an impulse, right? Let's just hide the indicator. So we have an impulse, and then the market has corrected in three moves like this. Right, this is a bullish indication that the market is only ready to head higher once we break this level high of 61,000. Right now, I may be wrong. It may even be the start of the bear market, but I see it to be highly unlikely that this is going to happen. And this is, even though the trend line that I said it must hold has been broken, this is not really the scenario I'm looking at. There's three main scenarios, like I said. So one scenario is that this is an impulse and the market has just been range bound between this range for the past few weeks, since March basically, right? For the past month. Are we ready to head higher? As long as this key level holds, as long as we remain above this level, right, the market should be heading higher. There's no reason for it to crash from here, and especially the time it's taking for the market to crash is an indication of only bullish strength rather than bears having taken control of the market. So that's scenario one. Right now, scenario two is this is an impulse, right? And we have since then been just correcting and going sideways, right? And now all we need to see is the market to close above this level, pull back, right, go sideways, basically accumulation, and then we go much higher. In this scenario, we may even go past 100,000 for as a price target for Bitcoin, right? So that's, I'm assuming that to be the scenario two. In the third scenario that I am looking at, I'm looking for the prices to crash much lower to around 40.38 level, only to close back above this key level, right? This is a key level afterwards that we need to hold. And in that case, I will have a much stronger conviction in the market going to 100,000 to even beyond, because if you look at the weekly chart, I'm just going to remove this trend line for now. So if you look at the weekly chart, this is a 21-week moving average. Now, 21-week moving average has not been tested since September 2020, right? This is a bullish moving average that a lot of investors look for on a higher time frame, that if the prices can stay above the 3-week moving average, 21 days moving average, then prices are likely to head higher. So what's most likely to happen is, even though it's Sunday today, the price may capitulate down to this region or even dip below that, right? Only to bounce back up and we head much higher afterwards, right? So that's one way to look at this entire scenario, that in this case we still have much lower to go. But if you look at the altcoins, they haven't really dropped significantly in comparison to Bitcoin or many of the other coins. So that's a strong indication. So those are the coins you might want to invest in for now, because those are the coins that have held really strongly throughout this entire market crash, right? So for now, just to wrap it up, for Bitcoin, as long as we're above 21-week moving average, and as long as we are above this range of 40,000, we are still bullish on the future outlook of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole, right? So even if this coin drops to 43k or even down to 40k, 38k, only to close back above this level, that would be a bullish signal, right? So there won't really be any need to panic or anything. Let's look at Ethereum now. Okay, so Ethereum, as you can see, it hasn't really had any significant pullbacks. 20%. I mean, a lot of people think 20% is quite a lot of is a significant pullback. It is, but the thing is, in a crypto market, you must remember 15 to 20% is just like another day. It's normal, right? It's not like the end of the world. And if you look at the crash from here down to 1200, this was just in February, just literally 2 months ago, right? It dropped 36%, only to head higher by about 85-87%. This is from February, right? It hasn't really been that long. So 15-20% is really no cause of concern or no reason to sell your coins. So what I'm looking for on Ethereum is that as long as this level holds, as long as we stay above 1930, the price of Ethereum is likely to go to, so we have this impulse here, we have a pullback, we have another impulse, and then we have a pullback here, right? The market should at least head to 3200 to 3500. That's basically what I'm anticipating, right? So that would be one thing to look at. Now let's look at XRP. To see where we are. So yeah, I mean, if you look at Ripple, it did get crippled, but it's nothing to really worry about, because Ripple has been known for doing these crazy moves and just going sideways for months on end. But let's look at the entire chart on a weekly basis. Okay, so you see this impulsive move from January 2017 all the way to January 2018, right? That's a 1 year of bull run. Since then, Ripple has just pulled back, gone into accumulation mode. People have been buying it up, right? Now, what I'm anticipating is for Ripple to go at least to $3 first. That would be the ideal target. That would be the first ideal move. And especially that, given that Ripple hasn't really dropped significantly throughout this past week, right? That's still a potential 200% returns, right? Once we get to that level, right? Once we break this high, what I would like for Ripple to do is either pull back and then go higher, only for people to take profit, accumulate lower, we go sideways for a bit, and then near the end of the year, we go much higher, right? Or it will break above this level, go even to $10, pull back to $3 or something, and then we basically go much higher. Now, one thing you have to remember is not so much the potential gains, it's also the risk that you have to consider. And I always emphasize that don't just go heavy on any single coin, especially when you don't know how these coins are likely to play out, right? Over the next, we don't know, anything can happen, right? If something happens to Bitcoin, if there's a huge sell-off in Bitcoin, these coins, all the altcoins, will suffer, right? So that's one thing you have to be mindful of. If you look at Ripple, this is a zone that we are looking as a key level that Ripple needs to stay above, right? So anything above that, if you get a pullback down to 60 cents, it's still bullish, right? Ideally, you wanna get a pullback in this zone, at least for the price to pull back to this region, and you'll just move your stop loss to 46%. It's easy to say 46%, but I mean, if it does get hit, that would be a pretty big hit on your portfolio, which is why I say don't over risk or over leverage your positions. There's no reason for Ripple to drop down to 30 cents. I don't think it will, and not anytime soon, right? So any pullbacks you get from here on, right, is just gonna be a buying opportunity for you to just accumulate Ripple, and we are just going to $3. That is the minimum target. Although this impulse here suggests that we are likely to go much higher. And let's look at Doge Coin, because a lot of people FOMO'd into Doge USD. Let's look at this one. Now, I was anticipating that Doge will pull back to at least $10. This is the range I was basically anticipating, right? Where I said I'm going to accumulate Doge in this when the price drops in this zone, right? It didn't really happen. It dropped down to 15 cents. I managed to get some coins around 18 to 20, right? Now, I'm not so keen on the price chart, doing a certain playing out a certain way, but the fact is, this entire time from February 2021 all the way to April 13th, people have just been accumulating Doge. There's been a lot of anticipation in the market participants that Doge is the coin that is going to go to the moon, at least to $1, right? Now, if you look at the price chart and the way it has been accumulated this entire time, this entire range here and this range here, it only suggests that if Doge can just hold above 15 cents level, right? Even if it pulls back to 19 cents or something, as long as it remains above this level, we are likely to see that $1 target on Doge, right? So you do have the potential to make 270-300% returns, right? So that is a possibility. But Dogecoin is one of those FOMO coins where a lot of people will buy it only to dump it as soon as they see sign of weakness in the market, like they did, right? Like a few days ago, it was down 60 cents. Now, you need to be clear on what exactly you're doing with these coins. If you don't know that, you would have most likely sold in this region. Definitely, you would have sold in this region, because it's not something interesting to really look at when you're all the gains that you've made are just you just see them evaporate, right? And you just wonder, when is it ever going to recover? We don't know when it's going to recover, so we just have to be calculated with our risk. Another coin we will look at lastly is YFI, which I'm personally bullish on. YFI, that is a coin in the DeFi space, and yeah, see, it hasn't really broken any significant levels, right? So this coin is still a buy, because I'm predicting that YFI is likely to hit 100k before Bitcoin does. But I mean, all the coins are moving to their all-time highs and making higher highs, and going to the moon. So it's not like any coin is going to be an exception. But I personally believe that the structure on this coin is the most bullish that I can actually see across the market, right? So we do see it going to 100k. That's only because it's just equal in length. The move from the lows of 7,000, I believe. So a 1-to-1 move puts YFI at 118k, right? So that would be the ideal scenario. That's the minimum, right? That's still a conservative target. It may even go higher because DeFi space is really taking off. I'll see if I can get some time to write up an intro on DeFi and how it has fueled the growth across the market. Other than that, yeah, that's it for now. It's still a bullish market. There are still some coins out there that you can accumulate on these lows, but as always, manage your risk and don't risk more than you're willing to lose. And I wish you guys all the best with your investing, and speak to you soon.